Hey everyone, my name is Randy Lee and I'm an environmental engineer. So as you can tell from the title of this video, I'll be answering the question to see if you can survive and really work as an environmental engineer in Bangkok, Thailand. So why specifically Thailand, you may ask? Well, because I recently went on vacation to Thailand in August and it was my first time in that country. Honestly, I was a bit scared to go to a third world country for vacation because maybe I'm just like a spoiled city brat who is just really used to like accommodations of technology and just having everything be clean and up to American standards. But when I got there and after embracing the food, the culture, and everything else they had to offer, I can honestly say that America doesn't really even stand a chance compared to Bangkok, Thailand. There's just so many fun things to do there and so much to explore. And just an FYI, I'm guilty of being really judgmental, thinking that every country labeled as a third world country would be like stereotypically very dirty, have problems with homelessness, maybe have high crime rates, have dangerous foods that just give you stomach aches each time you eat it, and just everything else negative they can think of. So my apologies for everyone who is watching and living in what's considered a third world country. This trip definitely changed my perspective, and again, I'm really sorry just for being so judgmental. That's a whole different rant on how Thailand may be better than America on certain areas, but I digress. Anyway, this might be another random vlog, but I'll just be critiquing certain areas that I think are necessary to answer the overall question of whether or not you can really be an environmental engineer there. All while you enjoy the videos of my vacation, really. So, in order to answer the question, I'm going to break it down into 4 different categories. First one is air quality, second one is trash and pollution, third one is transportation, and the last one is job availability. And after I consider all those factors, then I'll have the final verdict out for you. Alright, so now that you know the categories, let's get on with the vlog and critiques. First, let's talk about air pollution. This means when I step outside and breathe the city air or the rural air, what am I taking in? Is it smoggy where I'm feeling like I need to wear a gas mask every time I step out, or have to worry that I'll get lung cancer after a few hours of breathing the air? When I visited Bangkok, Thailand, which is very city-like, the overall climate there is hot, humid, and sticky. And as you walk down the road, you'll see cars, buses, trains, and their infamous tuk-tuks. Aside from the very hot and humid environment, the air quality is really dictated on these forms of vehicles. There are times when it rains for a good 20 minutes and floods the entire area and then stops. It's definitely not something I'm used to in America. Once it rains, the air is fresh but can quickly become bad again because the vehicles are there still driving and producing smog. Many of the buses and tuk-tuks are not clean natural gas powered and feel like they're giant lawnmowers because their tailpipes spits out the blackest, dirtiest smog. In the end, the air quality of the city is very bad because of these vehicles. Even worse, it's the public transportation buses and tuk-tuks that are causing air pollution to be really bad. The private taxis or personal grab vehicles, which is like their form of Uber, are technologically advanced to have catalytic converters, so they aren't really the main issue. I would rate the air quality as 3 out of 10. It's not a complete 1 out of 10 because the rain can clear up the air pollution, but I don't want to have to rely off of natural forces to clean the air because that's not going to happen like when you want it to. Next is trash and pollution. This means, are the streets filled with trash and how do they separate the trash? Again, my spoiled brain thought that I would be seeing trash littered all over the streets in this third world country, but to my surprise, it's cleaner than America. There's practically no trash in the streets, but it's also surprising because I also didn't find any trash cans. There's not many trash cans there. And you would think that if there are more trash cans out in the streets for the public to just put their trash in, there would be less trash on the floor. But that doesn't seem to be the case, because here in America, there are public trash cans near certain waiting areas or restaurants, but there's still trash littered on the floor. In Thailand, it's the exact opposite. There's few trash cans, but little to no trash on the floor. I didn't notice too much of a difference in the types of trash categories. I only saw one general trash can and one general recycling can. But the difference was that I saw a worker at a mall with a pooper scooper actually visit these trash cans and separate every so often. So they would come in with a bigger trash can with wheels and pull out the trash and recyclables from the trash can and put them in this cart. More than likely in America, people just throw whatever into any bin, not really caring to separate anything. But in Thailand, they have someone else separate it for them. I'm not sure what's the point of having 2 separate bins at this point, but I can imagine it's much easier for when people actually do separate it versus how much extra work the separators from Thailand would have to do if everyone just threw everything into one bin. So overall, I give trash and pollution an 8 out of 10 because it is very clean and accommodating. The streets are cleaner than even some of the nicest places in America. And it seems like the citizens of Thailand actually know how to separate trash and want to keep their environment clean. But meanwhile, in America, just visit downtown LA, for example. You'll see trash everywhere, but inside the trash cans. Next up on the list is transportation. In Thailand, you can get around in a private vehicle or using public transportation or just walking. The public transportation, such as the trains, is very reliable and honestly more enjoyable than taking the private vehicles. The roads there are very small. It's usually like 1 lane per vehicle in one direction. So this could lead to some very heavy traffic jams. So, just why waste your time? Public transportation there is also very cheap. It was around like 8 to 35 Thai baht at the time of this recording, which varies from like 25 cents to $1 depending on how far your destination is. My only negative for public transportation would be how it affects the air quality, as previously mentioned in my first category. The trains there are environmentally friendly, but the public buses are not. Private vehicles and taxis are, in my perspective, more environmentally friendly when it comes to releasing emissions and the overall accumulation of smog. But, obviously too much single vehicles will produce its own problems. In the end, I give transportation a 6 out of 10, taking into consideration air quality as well. And lastly on the list is job availability. Now, I want to be clear that I don't live in Thailand. I don't know the economics and job market of Thailand. I haven't checked a job posting for environmental engineering or any job for that matter in Thailand, so I don't know how easy or difficult it is to get a job in Thailand. And I don't know if they have a government jobs website or something similar to like LinkedIn, but just based off of what I saw on the surface during my visit there, they don't have much of demand for environmental engineers. Now, I know that's discouraging to hear, but I could be wrong, probably because I have just visited the very tourist-heavy cities. So all of the Thai people who were working there worked in places like service-based jobs such as hotels, convenience stores, and restaurants. In the end, I give job availability a 2 out of 10. And just to let you know, this is probably going to carry the most weight when it comes to answering the bigger question of whether or not you can be an environmental engineer in Thailand. So now you have all my thoughts on all 4 categories: air quality, trash and pollution, transportation, and job availability. There are some categories that have some room for improvement, such as air quality and transportation, and also remember that engineering jobs are created when there are problems and opportunities for improvement. So if there are problems that we can initially see, then we should see a growing demand for environmental engineers. However, jobs are also created based on funding, and we may not really get that there, depending on if the government or private sectors don't really see an urgent need for it, or if it just doesn't create income and business. So in the end, I don't believe you can become an environmental engineer in Thailand. Remember, taking into consideration all those factors and especially job availability. It's just unfortunate to hear that, but again, this is just coming from my very limited biased perspective coming from America, and at least what American environmental engineers do. So don't hate me again for this critique. Okay, well, thank you for watching this video until the very end. I hope you enjoyed hearing my mini critique and the videos I captured while I was there on vacation. I hope anyone in Thailand or any other country that's labeled as a third world country who's watching can comment on what their perspective is based on what they see. Because again, I don't live there. And honestly, I'd rather be wrong on my critique. So that's it for the video. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.